So we finally got it done. We got this one over the line, and here she is in all her glory. I'm over the moon, completely over the moon with how that's turned out. All of that planning and effort that went into the specification. Now, in reality, just looking absolutely incredible. I just wanted to thank Matt and Greg, Polly, our client, Letchek, Lucas, Damien, Gabrielle, and everyone else involved in creating this incredible folly in such an incredible location. We've been absolutely spoiled here. This job's very different to probably most of the roofs that you may have seen before. It's a radial hipped roof, so instead of everything running straight, everything works off of a curve. You can't just set it out and get it on like a regular roof. So slates are very flat inherently by nature, and this roof is not. At the start it's not that obvious, but once the first few courses go on, it kind of reveals itself. What you're aiming for in the end is a clean and smooth curve. It's funny how our brains operate very similarly as humans, and we're constantly trying to see patterns and everything else. And with this, because everything's curvy and everything's round, if those measurements are correct, it all just ends up coming together, and it's really fascinating. Like, all the geometry involved, you just have to have a really good understanding of what is going to happen and where it's going to go, and then the geometry just shines through. When I arrive on site every day, I notice all of the hard work and effort that was put in the day before, and although it's pretty dark or it's been pretty dark every day that we've finished, you still have an understanding of what we've actually done. But after sleeping on it and then arriving the next day, you can actually really see those radii and the slate, especially with the morning sun, looking absolutely incredible. It's nice to be in this position now where everything that we actually decided to do paid off, and how important a good specification really is on a project such as this one, or actually on any project. We built a quarter of the radii, and we physically held up the pieces of timber, so we had the exact pitch of the roof and the exact shape and length, everything. So we were able to bend each piece around and ensure that we knew that the specification was correct, even to the point where we specified the width of the slate. We ended up going with a 12-inch by a 20-inch. Now the 20-inch was to ensure that we had an adequate headlap. The 12-inch, we would have gone even wider if we could. The shape of the roof and that radius, it was perfect for a 12-inch. So we knew that this was the best slate for the project, and the sarking was the best sarking for the project as well. Every slate had to be trimmed and dressed to that shape. We had to close all of the margins down to suit the pitch of the roof, and with the holing machine, it was obviously a lot easier to manufacture all of those slates. The cutting of the Gothic style, all done with an axe, so all by hand over a stake or an anvil. The diminishing slates on the radial hips were cut with a guillotine, a real workhorse on this job, and it came into its own, to be honest. So anyone doing a radial slate project, I would highly recommend investing in a large guillotine. The additional layer of sarking on the radius, that was quite special really. With the gap that we'd allowed, it almost looked like a finished piece. Cutting and installing each slate and seeing that all come into fruition, in all honesty, that the whole job has been extremely satisfying in every stage. To the lead vents, to the the cutting of all the Gothic slates to the lead ridge and the two orbs that we have adorning the radial hips. I'm extremely pleased that we went with them because the pitch of the radius is quite a shallow one, and it just needed it, you know. Absolutely blown away by what we've managed to achieve here. The strapping on these radial aprons as well was really cool, and it's ultimately some code 5 lead, and it's folded in on itself twice to create this lovely folded detail, and it's super rigid, and we folded that over a nice thick timber dowel to create that lovely effect. So I'm just about to head back to Devon now after getting this one over the line. I'm very excited to spend some time with the family now, and yeah, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed watching the progress so far, feel free to subscribe to our channel.